Join us as we tackle small business financial woes and how good policies can actually help in our latest Propel Explainer. As any small business owner will tell you, one of the most challenging aspects of running a small business is accessing loans to sustain and grow it. But these loans are becoming increasingly difficult to get.
This is because there are fewer and fewer places for businesses to apply for these loans. Small business loans tend to make up a much larger percentage of total assets of community banks versus large banks, but community banks have declined by almost half in the last 2 decades. This decline is driven by consolidation through mergers and acquisitions and increased competition from both larger banks and fintech companies. High interest rates have hobbled access to other private loan providers. This is all against the backdrop of a completely different phenomenon, venture capital.
I mean, I wish that we had an economy that was set up to invest in small businesses that pride themselves on modest and stable growth.
Tomer Palmer is the co-owner of a local business in San Francisco, Gravel and Gold, that produces and manufactures clothing entirely in California.
We're part of a network of small businesses in San Francisco that are really trying to nurture the things that make San Francisco, San Francisco, whether that's incredible food, your favorite independent bookstore, bars and cafes that serve as these third spaces for community, or in our case, locally produced, ethically made clothing that looks really good and is going to last like your whole life. We've been at it for over 15 years, and it's a labor of love.
But businesses like Gravel and Gold, which are profitable and growing, are struggling to find the tools needed to continue that growth and keep making tangible contributions to San Francisco.
We recently applied for a loan from Pacific Community Ventures. It's a loan we've applied for before and received, but this time we were denied, which is weird because we're actually in a better financial position than we ever have been. We've opened up an additional location in the Ferry Building, and our wholesale business is growing steadily. But in order for us to keep up with that growth, we need more investment that is going to allow us to continue to scale. Look, we're not talking about a huge fiscal need, but these standard loans are becoming harder to get, which is also making it harder for us to support the local factories and the workforce that we rely on to produce our goods. Bottom line, we need loans to grow, and we need to grow to be able to pay back debt.
Private loan providers like Pacific Community Ventures have, in some ways, tried to fill the gaps left by the decline of community banks, which historically have provided small business loans based on reasonable rates of return. According to the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, community banks have declined by 46% since 2003.
When we can't even get a loan at a rate that is actually generating revenue for the loan provider and that can be reinvested in our community, it's like pulling the rug out from every small business in our city. It hurts an entire local economy.
In some ways, city government has also tried to fill the funding gap left by community banks. San Francisco's Office of Small Business does provide grants and loans through partner programs like Main Street Launch's Emerging Business Loan Fund and the Downtown Vibrancy Fund. But restrictive criteria unfortunately means that many small businesses in San Francisco just aren't eligible. During the pandemic, the Paycheck Protection Program was a lifeline for some brick-and-mortar businesses struggling to sustain during a total economic shutdown. But later investigations found that funds disproportionately went to large, well-capitalized businesses or franchises like Panera. Needless to say, even if these programs were more accessible to a broader range of small businesses, these loans aren't enough. Justin Dolezal is the owner of Bar Part Time and president of Small Business Forward, a group of small business owners advocating for a more sustainable and affordable San Francisco.
Small business loans through the city are really hard to get. They can take months and months to come through, and frankly, they aren't enough to help businesses be sustainable and grow in a meaningful way. A $2,500 loan to restore or replace an awning is great, but it's not the type of investment that we need to really sustain the small business economy, which includes inviting a diverse array of new entrepreneurs to take the leap and start their own small businesses.
What amounts to a universal struggle for San Francisco's small business community has yet to translate into a city plan to address what businesses really need: access to capital. That lack of political will and proactive strategy threatens the vibrancy of mainstream corridors citywide, from the Mission and Haight-Ashbury to the Richmond and Sunset districts, all neighborhoods set to receive increased development pressures without a plan to support true local small businesses. But some community leaders have been pushing for sustainable small business investment through the establishment of a public bank.
It's literally been 15 years of work.
Misha Steyer is one of the leaders of the Public Bank Coalition, the community group leading the push for a ballot measure this November to establish California's first ever municipal public bank.
So San Francisco started a feasibility study back in 2011 to analyze the potential of a public bank. And advocacy really began in earnest in 2017 with the foundation of the San Francisco Public Bank Coalition. All of this culminating in a plan in 2023 for the first municipal bank in America. It's an obvious way for the city to step up, not just by directly investing in our small businesses, but also by supporting investments in affordable housing, which are infrastructure and workforce development. By investing public money in low-cost loans for affordable housing, small business, and green energy, the public bank generates greater revenue for the city and puts that money right back into our local communities. There's so much speculative money pouring into the Bay Area right now, but none of it's going to things that would make it more affordable to live in San Francisco, to build and thrive here. It's just not a role that venture capital is set up to play.
Misha also says that a public bank could help businesses like Gravel and Gold.
Public bank is an extension of what the city already does when it provides loans to small businesses and affordable housing at reasonable rates of return. We need to expand their access to capital, and we need to do it rapidly. Public bank is not a radical idea. Literally a quarter of the world's assets are already held in public banks because they're a smart way to build out infrastructure and reinvest in our communities at scale. And with democratic fiscal oversight, it's going to be a safe, stable, productive investment of taxpayer dollars too.
It seems so obvious to me that a city would want to do this. We're a business that's contributing to our local creative economy, making money, and capable of paying back a loan with interest. If a diminishing pool of private investors aren't set up to see that as an opportunity, then the city for sure should.
For businesses like Gravel and Gold, Bar Part-Time, and so many others across San Francisco, expanding access to public loans is a game changer.
Small business owners are concerned with our bottom line and in growing our businesses. But more than that, we're dedicated to serving our communities and making San Francisco a place that provides for its local residents and welcomes visitors. We're the bedrock of San Francisco's local economy, but we're dying a death in 1,000 cuts. We know how to prevent that from happening and to level the playing field with small businesses that everyone knows and loves, both today and in the future. San Francisco has led the nation in effective progressive policies before, and we can do it again.